In the last episode, Alex and his team had finally escaped the clutches of Archon's forces, but not without scars, and now they're trying to regroup on Elysium. Their respite is short-lived, however, as a cryptic message from Aethereia's resistance sets them on a collision course with fate. The message reads, "Elysium's safety is an illusion. Archon's next move will be catastrophic." My comms device beeps, shrill and urgent, on the console beside me. I snatch it up, heart racing. The voice on the other end is distorted, but the words send a shiver down my spine. "We have reason to believe Archon is planning to activate the Devourer, a device capable of draining Aethereia's life force. You must stop him." I look around the cramped room, meeting the anxious faces of my team. "We can't let that happen. What's the location of the Resistance contact?" "There's a meet on the outskirts of Elysium's capital, a Sector 4 Alpha 7. Come alone." The line goes dead. I breathe in, feeling a sense of purpose wash over me. My team begins to murmur among themselves, and I know I have to act fast. Kai speaks up, his voice low and urgent. "Alex, what's going on?" I fill them in on the message, and their expressions turn grim. "We can't do this alone. We need to gather our gear and get moving. Now." As we hastily prepare, I can feel the weight of the challenge ahead. The Resistance contact could be a trap, but I have to take the risk. My thoughts swirl with worst-case scenarios as we make our way to the meet. The sector's abandoned buildings loom around us, casting long shadows in the fading light. A figure steps out of the darkness, hood up. "You're Alex," I nod, hand on the grip of my sidearm. The figure pulls back its hood, revealing a young woman with a scar above her left eyebrow. "Niam, we've been watching you. We know what you're capable of." She hands me a data pad with coordinates and schematics. "This is the location of the Devourer. We have reason to believe it's already online." My gut twists. We have to move now. I look at Niam, a plan forming in my mind. "What's the plan to disable it?" Niam's expression turns resolute. "Well, get you inside. After that, you're on your own." The thought sends a thrill through me. Ready. The city lights of Elysium flicker in the distance, a stark contrast to the darkness gathering on Aethereia. Little do I know, this is just the beginning of a journey that will push me to the limit of human endurance. The silence that follows is heavy with anticipation, and I know I have to act. Time to put my team and myself to the test. The clock is ticking. Previously, Alex and his team received a cryptic message from Aethereia's resistance, warning them that Archon plans to activate the Devourer, a device capable of draining Aethereia's life force. Alex met with Resistance contact Niam, who provided him with the Devourer's location and schematics, and vowed to get him inside to disable it. As I stand at the edge of the city, the darkness of the abandoned sector closing in around me, I feel an eerie sense of déjà vu. It's as if I'm staring into the abyss and the abyss is staring back at me. I glance at Niam, her eyes locked on mine, and I know I have to ask the question that's been burning in my mind. "What's the catch, Niam? What's the real plan here?" Her expression falters for a split second, and I sense a hint of hesitation before she responds. "The Resistance has assets inside the facility. They'll create a diversion, but y'all need to move fast. You have 30 minutes to disable the Devourer before Archon security overrides the system." 30 minutes. The ticking clock in my head just got a whole lot louder. I nod, my mind racing with the risks and possibilities. "What about my team? I can't do this alone." Niam's smile is faint but reassuring. "We've taken care of that. They'll be extracted from Elysium and rendezvous with you at the perimeter of the facility. Y'all have backup, but it's up to you to get the job done." I take a deep breath, the weight of the mission settling onto my shoulders. It's time to trust Niam, the Resistance, and my own instincts. "Let's do this," I say, my voice firm. Niam nods, and with a swift gesture, she activates a holographic display projected from her wrist device. The schematics of the facility swirl around us, and I commit every detail to memory. "This way," she says, leading me into the darkness as the city lights of Elysium fade into the distance. We navigate the labyrinthine tunnels beneath the facility, avoiding detection by mere seconds. My heart pounds in my chest as we approach the entrance, where Niam's assets are supposed to create a diversion. I glance at my comms device. 25 minutes left. Suddenly, a loud explosion rocks the tunnel, and plunged into chaos. The diversion has begun. It's time to move. Previously, Alex received a cryptic message from Aethereia's resistance about Archon's plan to activate the Devourer, a device capable of draining Aethereia's life force. He met with resistance contact Niam, who provided him with the Devourer's location and schematics, and vowed to get him inside to disable it. I charge into the facility, my heart racing with every step. The diversion created by Niam's assets rages on, with blaster fire and shouting echoing through the corridors. I spot my team Lyra, Kale, and Mira as they fight off Archon's security forces. We exchange a brief, determined glance, and then we're all moving in sync, taking down enemies left and right. As we push deeper into the facility, the air grows thick with an otherworldly energy. I can feel the Devourer's presence, pulsing like a dark heartbeat. Niam's holographic map guides me through the twisting corridors, and I finally reach the chamber where the device awaits. The sight takes my breath away, a towering, crystalline structure that seems to drink in the light around it. I can sense the Devourer's power, its potential to destroy Aethereia's ecosystem. I know I have to act fast. With Kale and Lyra providing cover fire, I sprint toward the central console, my fingers flying across the interface. The countdown clock in my head screams at me. 20 minutes left. I'm acutely aware that Archon's security overrides will kick in soon, and I'll be locked out of the system. Suddenly, the console flares to life, and I'm faced with a cryptic warning: unauthorized access detected, self-destruction sequence initiated. 1959-59, 1959-58. My heart sinks. I've triggered a countdown to self-destruction. We need to get out now. Fall back. I shout to my team as we make a frantic retreat from the chamber. The clock is ticking, and I can feel the facility shaking apart beneath our feet. We burst out of the facility, the night air a welcome respite from the chaos. Niam's waiting for us, her eyes locked on mine with an unspoken message. We share a brief, tense moment, and then she disappears into the night, leaving us to escape the perimeter. As we flee the facility, the sound of sirens and explosions echoes through the darkness. I glance back, watching as the Devourer's chamber erupts in a blaze of fire and light. The self-destruction sequence has been triggered, but I know it's far from over. Archon will regroup and will face an even greater challenge ahead. The city lights of Elysium loom on the horizon, a beacon of hope in the darkness. But I know our work has just begun. We need to regroup, recharge, and prepare for the next battle. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and I'm the only one who can wield the power to save it. The clock is still ticking, and I'm running out of time. Previously, Alex infiltrated the facility to disable the Devourer, a device capable of draining Aethereia's life force, but instead he triggered a self-destruction sequence, and their prompt escape left them with more questions than answers. As I gaze out at the Elysium cityscape, the thrill of our narrow escape is short-lived, replaced by the weight of uncertainty. We huddle in our makeshift hideout, a nondescript safe house on the outskirts of the city, trying to process the aftermath of our operation. What went wrong? Lyra asks, her frustration palpable. Niam said we had the schematics, we should have been able to disable it. I rub my temples, trying to ward off the fatigue creeping in. I don't know. Maybe Archon had a hidden failsafe. Maybe we missed something. Mira, quiet until now, speaks up. We can't dwell on it. We need to focus on our next move. Archon will regroup, and we need to stay ahead of them. Kale nods in agreement. We need to get back to Aethereia, find out what's happening with the resistance, and figure out how to stop the Devourer once and for all. I take a deep breath, the weight of our mission settling on my shoulders. Agreed. But we can't do it alone. We need to find more allies, gather more information, and a sudden knock at the door interrupts me. We exchange a wary glance, and Lyra moves silently to answer it. A hooded figure slips inside, revealing a young Aethereian woman, her eyes haunted by the scars of her past. Ava, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Niam sent me. I have information about the Devourer's power source. It's hidden deep within Aethereia's core, guarded by Archon's most elite forces. My heart races as I take in her words. This could be the break we need. Tell me more, I urge, my mind already racing with strategies and possibilities. Ava hesitates, fear flickering in her eyes. There's something else. Archon's not the only faction searching for the power source. There's another. A rival faction hidden in the shadows. Thayer called the Syndicate, and Thale stop at nothing to claim the power for themselves. The room falls silent, the weight of her words sinking in. We're no longer just fighting Archon. We're navigating a treacherous web of factions, each with their own agendas and motivations. The stakes have never been higher, and I know that our next move will determine the fate of Aethereia. I look at my team, their determined faces a reflection of my own resolve. We have a long, perilous road ahead, but I know we're ready to face it head on. The clock is still ticking, but am more determined than ever to shatter Archon's grip and unlock the secrets of Aethereia's core. Previously, Alex and his team escaped the facility with their lives, but not without triggering a self-destruction sequence, and now Thayer left to pick up the pieces and plan their next move. As they regroup, a mysterious message from Ava, a member of Aethereia's resistance, sets them on a perilous path to uncover the truth about the Devourer's power source and navigate the treacherous landscape of rival factions. All right, let's get to work, I say, my eyes locked on Ava. We need to gather as much intel as possible about the Syndicate and their plans. Ava nods, producing a small data pad from her cloak. I managed to intercept some encrypted files from the Syndicate's communication channels. It's not much, but it might give us a lead. Mira takes the pad, her fingers flying across the holographic interface as she begins to decode the files. Kale stands watch, his eyes scanning the perimeter, ever vigilant for signs of Archon's pursuit. Lyra paces the room, her mind racing with strategies and countermeasures. As we work, I can't shake off the feeling that we're running out of time. Archon won't stop until they've claimed the power source for themselves, and the Syndicate is an unknown variable that could tip the scales in their favor. I think I've cracked the encryption, Mira says, her voice laced with excitement. The files contain coordinates for an abandoned research facility on Aethereia's surface. It might be where the Syndicate is hiding their operation. I nod, my mind racing with possibilities. We need to get there, ASAP. Kale, Lyra, you're with me. Mira, Ava, stay here and keep digging for more information. We'll rendezvous back here in 24 hours. As we prepare to leave, Lyra approaches me, her voice low. Alex, we can't trust Ava. She might be working for the Syndicate or Archon, feeding us false information. I glance at Ava, who's watching us with an unreadable expression. I know Lyra's concerns are valid, but something about Ava's haunted eyes tells me she's on our side. For now, I have to trust my instincts. We'll keep a close eye on her, I reassure Lyra. But we can't afford to turn down potential allies, not when the stakes are this high. With our gear in hand, we slip out of the safe house, disappearing into the labyrinthine streets of Elysium. The city's neon lights blur around us as we make our way to the spaceport, the weight of our mission settling heavier with each step. As we approach the docking bay, I glance up at the stars, Aethereia's distant glow a constant reminder of our ultimate goal. We're one step closer to unlocking the secrets of the planet's core, and with it, the key to reclaiming Aethereia from Archon's grasp. But as we board our ship, the silence between us is palpable. We're not just fighting against Archon, we're navigating a treacherous landscape of rival factions, where allegiances are tested and trust is a luxury we can't afford. The ship lifts off, soaring into the skies as we set a course for Aethereia. The planet's fate hangs in the balance, and I know that our next move will determine the course of history. I take a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. We're about to embark on the most perilous journey of our lives, and I'm not sure if we'll all make it out alive. But one thing is certain, it'll stop at nothing to shatter Archon's grip and unlock the secrets of Aethereia's core. The clock is ticking, and our fate hangs in the balance. Previously, Alex and his team escaped the facility, but not without triggering a self-destruction sequence. And now they're left to pick up the pieces and plan their next move, receiving a mysterious message from Ava, a member of Aethereia's resistance, that sets them on a perilous path to uncover the truth about the Devourer's power source. As we soar through the skies, the stars twinkling like diamonds against the blackness of space, I feel an eerie sense of calm wash over me. It's a fleeting moment of serenity before the storm, a brief respite from the weight of our mission. The silence in the cockpit is heavy with unspoken concerns, each of us lost in our own thoughts as we approach the abandoned research facility on Aethereia's surface. Suddenly, the ship shudders, throwing us off balance. Alarms begin to flash and Lyra's voice cuts through the din. We're experiencing turbulence. Archon's forces are closing in. I grip the armrests, my knuckles white with tension as Kale expertly navigates the ship through the treacherous skies. The ship lurches again and I feel my stomach drop. We're running out of time, and the stakes have never been higher. Ava, can you hack into the facility's systems? I ask, my voice firm despite the chaos around us. Ava's fingers dance across her comms device, her eyes fixed on the holographic display. I'm in. The facility's security grid is down. We have a narrow window to get in and get out. I nod, my mind racing with the plan. Lyra, can you prep the gravity anchors? We'll need them to stabilize the ship once we land. Lyra nods, her face set in determination. Already on it, Alex. The ship shudders once more and Kale's voice is laced with urgency. We're entering the facility's atmosphere. Hold on, this is going to be rough. With a final jolt, the ship lands and we spill out into the unknown, our footsteps echoing through the abandoned corridors of the research facility. The air is thick with dust and the stench of decay, and I can feel the weight of the Devourer's power source calling to me. As we move deeper into the facility, the silence is oppressive, punctuated only by the creaks and groans of the ancient structure. I know that we're not alone here. The Syndicate could be lurking in every shadow, waiting to strike. Suddenly, Ava freezes, her eyes fixed on a security feed. We have a problem. The Syndicate's forces are closing in. We need to find that power source now. I nod, my heart pounding in my chest. Let's move. We don't have much time. With Ava's guidance, we navigate the labyrinthine corridors, avoiding deadly traps and security drones. Every step feels like a countdown to disaster, but I know that we're running out of options. As we near the heart of the facility, the air begins to thicken, electric with an otherworldly energy. I can feel the Devourer's power coursing through the walls, calling to me like a siren's song. We're close, Ava whispers, her eyes shining with an unspoken fear. I nod, my grip on my blaster tightening. Let's do this. With a deep breath, we push forward into the heart of the storm. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and I'm willing to risk everything to claim the power that will set her free. Previously, Alex and his team escaped the facility, but not without triggering a self-destruction sequence, and received a mysterious message from Ava, a member of Aethereia's resistance, that sets them on a perilous path to uncover the truth about the Devourer's power source. As I step into the heart of the facility, the air is alive with an electric charge, and I can feel the Devourer's power pulsing through every molecule. Ava's guidance has led us to a massive chamber, dominated by a glowing crystal monolith that seems to be the source of the energy. But we're not alone. Thrakos Elite Squad, the Omega unit, emerges from the shadows, their eyes fixed on me with cold intent. Alex, you're a hard man to kill, Thrakos sneers, his voice dripping with malice. But this time you won't be so lucky. I raise my blaster, my heart pounding in my chest as the Omega unit closes in. But before the battle can begin, the chamber is filled with a blinding light and everything goes white. When my vision clears, I find myself standing in a vast, open plain, Surrounded by towering crystal formations that seem to hum with an ancient power, a figure approaches me, her features indistinct, but her presence radiates an aura of wisdom and authority. "Who are you?" I ask, my voice barely above a whisper. "I am Aethereia, the last guardian of Aethereia's secrets," she replies, her voice like a gentle breeze. "You have been chosen to wield the power of the Devourer, Alex. But do you have the wisdom to wield it?" I swallow hard, unsure of what lies ahead, but I know that I have no choice. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and I am the only one who can save her. Aethereia leads me through a labyrinthine series of trials, each one designed to test my resolve, my courage, and my determination. I face my deepest fears, and I am forced to confront the darkest corners of my own heart. But with each trial, I feel myself growing stronger, my resolve hardening into an unshakable conviction. Finally, Aethereia leads me to a hidden chamber deep beneath the plane where the Devourer's power source awaits. It's a glowing crystal orb, pulsing with an otherworldly energy that seems to call to me. "This is it," Aethereia says, her eyes shining with a deep wisdom. "This is the power to save Aethereia, but with it comes a great cost. Are you willing to pay the price?" I take a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. I know the answer. I am willing to do whatever it takes to save Aethereia. With a sense of determination, I reach out and claim the orb, feeling its power coursing through me like a river of fire. I am no longer just Alex, the reluctant leader. I am the wielder of the Devourer's power, and I will stop at nothing to set Aethereia free. As I emerge from the chamber, I find my team waiting for me, their faces etched with worry and concern. But when they see the orb in my hand, their expressions change to ones of awe and reverence. "We did it," Lyra whispers, her voice barely audible, but our triumph is short-lived. The Omega unit emerges from the shadows, their eyes fixed on me with cold intent. "It's not over yet," Thrakos sneers. "You may have the power, Alex, but you'll never leave this planet alive." I raise the orb, feeling its power coursing through me, and I know that I am ready for whatever lies ahead. The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and I am the only one who can save her. Previously, Alex and his team escaped the facility, but not without triggering a self-destruction sequence, and received a mysterious message from Ava, a member of Aethereia's resistance, leading them to a perilous path to uncover the truth about the Devourer's power source. As I stand tall, the Devourer's power coursing through me, I know that I'm not just fighting for Aethereia's freedom, but for the fate of the entire galaxy. The Omega unit closing in, I raise the orb, and a blast of energy sends them flying back. "It's time to take the fight to Archon," I declare, determination burning in my chest. With the orb's power at my command, we infiltrate Archon's stronghold, avoiding deadly traps and elite guards. Lyra leads the way, her biotech enhancements allowing her to interface with the facility's systems. We uncover classified files revealing Archon's sinister plan to harness Aethereia's energy to fuel their intergalactic conquest. Deep in the stronghold, we stumble upon a hidden laboratory where Archon scientists are experimenting on Aethereian prisoners. My anger ignites, and I channel the Devourer's power to free the captives and destroy the lab. The prisoners, now liberated, pledge their allegiance to our cause, swelling our ranks with determined rebels. As we exit the stronghold, we're met with an unexpected ally, Ava, the enigmatic messenger, flanked by a contingent of Aethereian rebels. "Alex, you've proven yourself," she says, her eyes gleaming with respect. "Together, we can bring down Archon's regime." Our newfound alliance sets in motion a daring plan to infiltrate Archon's central command, steal their surveillance codes, and broadcast our message of hope across Aethereia's occupied territories. We embark on a high-stakes sabotage mission, navigating the labyrinthine command center, avoiding detection and outsmarting Archon's security forces. Meanwhile, Thrakos pursues us relentlessly, his vendetta fueled by Archon's promise of power and revenge. He corners me in a narrow corridor, his blaster trained on my head. "You should have stayed out of this, Alex," he sneers. but am no longer the same man. I summon the Devourer's power, and a blast of energy sends Thrakos flying into a nearby console. As we near the command center's core, we encounter an unexpected obstacle, an AI construct, programmed to protect Archon's central systems. The AI, code-named Erebus, engages us in a cerebral battle, probing our defenses and testing our resolve. Lyra's quick thinking and hacking skills allow us to outmaneuver Erebus, and we seize control of the command center's systems. With the surveillance codes in hand, we broadcast our message to the galaxy, calling upon the people of Aethereia to rise up against their oppressors. The response is overwhelming as rebel groups and sympathizers across the planet rally behind our cause. Archon's grip on Aethereia begins to slip, and for the first time, I dare to believe that we might actually win this war. As the rebels mobilize, our small team becomes the catalyst for a planet-wide insurrection. We coordinate a series of strategic strikes against Archon's key installations, whittling down their forces and pushing their stronghold to the brink of collapse. Amidst the chaos, I receive a cryptic transmission from an unknown source, hinting at the existence of an ancient Aethereian artifact, the celestial key capable of amplifying the Devourer's power and tipping the balance of the war. The message concludes with a warning: beware the treachery within your own ranks. With the fate of Aethereia hanging in the balance, I must navigate treacherous alliances, hidden agendas, and ancient secrets to unlock the celestial key's power and bring Archon to its knees. But at what cost, and who will stand by my side when the dust settles? Previously, Alex and his team infiltrated Archon's stronghold, uncovered their sinister plans, and formed an alliance with Aethereia's rebels, led by Ava, to broadcast a message of hope across the planet. As they prepared to take down Archon's regime, a cryptic transmission hinted at the existence of an ancient Aethereian artifact, the celestial key capable of amplifying the Devourer's power. The transmission's warning, beware the treachery within your own ranks, echoes in my mind as I stand amidst the chaos of our makeshift rebel base. Ava approaches me, her eyes locked on mine, and says, "Alex, we've received intel suggesting that one of Archon's top commanders, General Kale, is secretly working with us. He's willing to defect and provide critical information on Archon's defenses, but we need to extract him from the heart of their stronghold." I sense a trap, but Ava's conviction is unwavering. I glance at Lyra, who nods almost imperceptibly. We both know that this could be the break we need to cripple Archon's forces. With a deep breath, I nod, and our team sets out to execute the high-risk extraction mission. We infiltrate the stronghold, avoiding patrols and security systems, until we reach General Kale's quarters. The general, a towering figure with a scar above his left eyebrow, greets us with a mixture of determination and desperation. "I've seen the atrocities committed in Archon's name," he says, his voice laced with disgust. "I want out and am willing to do whatever it takes to bring them down." As we make our way back to the rebel base, I notice that Lyra seems withdrawn, her usual confidence faltering. When we're safely back in the rebel base, I corner her, demanding to know what's bothering her. "It's Kale," she whispers, her eyes darting around the crowded room. "I've seen his biometric signature before. He's been working with Thrakos." My heart sinks. Ava's trust in Kale has been misplaced, and we've just walked into a trap. I gather my team, and we devise a new plan to uncover Kale's true intentions and prevent Archon from using him against us. Meanwhile, the celestial key remains an elusive enigma, but I sense that it's the key to unlocking our victory. Lyra and I pore over ancient texts, scouring for any mention of the artifact's location or purpose. Our research leads us to an ancient Aethereian temple, hidden deep within the planet's treacherous terrain. As we venture into the temple, we're met with treacherous traps and puzzles, designed to test our worthiness to possess the celestial key. With Lyra's knowledge and my Devourer-enhanced abilities, we overcome each obstacle, finally reaching the inner sanctum. Inside, we find an ancient pedestal, adorned with cryptic symbols. The air is charged with anticipation as I reach out, and the celestial key materializes in my hand, its power coursing through me. I realize that this artifact can indeed amplify the Devourer's abilities, but at a terrible cost: the gradual erosion of my own identity. With the celestial key in hand, our mission takes on a new level of urgency. We must use its power to destroy Archon's stronghold, but I fear that I may lose myself in the process. As I gaze at Lyra, I see the concern etched on her face, and I know that she senses the danger too. "We have to be careful," I say, trying to reassure her. "The power of the celestial key comes with a price." "I don't know if I can." Lyra's hand finds mine, her touch a beacon of hope. "Well, face it together, Alex. We always do." With the fate of Aethereia hanging in the balance, I must confront the darkness within myself and wield the celestial key's power to bring about a new era of freedom, or risk losing everything that makes me human. Previously, Alex and his team extracted General Kale from Archon's stronghold, only to discover that Kale was secretly working with Thrakos, putting their entire mission at risk. Meanwhile, Alex and Lyra obtained the celestial key, a powerful artifact that can amplify the Devourer's abilities, but at the cost of Alex's own identity. As I gaze at the celestial key, its power coursing through me like a raging river, I know I must make a choice. I can harness its energy to destroy Archon's stronghold, but at what cost to my own humanity? Lyra's words echo in my mind. "Well, face it together, Alex. We always do." But can she truly understand the weight of this burden? The rebel base is abuzz with activity as we prepare for the ultimate showdown with Archon. Ava approaches me, her determination undeterred by the betrayal of General Kale. "We need to move quickly, Alex. Archon will not take this lying down. We must use the celestial key to cripple their defenses before they can regroup." I nod, my mind racing with the implications. Lyra stands beside me, her eyes fixed on the artifact in my hand. I sense her unease, her fear that I may lose myself to the celestial key's power. But I also sense her trust. She believes in me, in us, and in our ability to overcome even the most daunting challenges. As we launch the assault on Archon's stronghold, the celestial key's energy coursing through me like liquid fire, I feel the Devourer's power surging to new heights. We blast through defenses, disabling traps and disabling security systems with ease. But with each passing moment, I feel my grip on reality slipping. The artifact's power is intoxicating, alluring, and terrifying. Suddenly, we're met with an unexpected obstacle: a contingent of Archon's elite soldiers, led by none other than Thrakos himself. His eyes lock onto mine, a cold, calculated hatred burning in their depths. "You're too late, Alex," he sneers. "Archon's plan is already in motion. The planet will soon be under our complete control." I summon all my remaining strength, focusing the celestial key's power into a blast of energy that sends Thrakos flying. But as I look around, I realize that our team is vastly outnumbered. Archon's soldiers are closing in on us from all sides, their guns blazing. In a desperate bid to turn the tide, Lyra unleashes a devastating blast of her biotechnology, mowing down Archon's soldiers like wheat. But even as we fight back, I sense the celestial key's influence growing stronger. I'm losing myself, consumed by its power. Just as all hope seems lost, Ava leads a contingent of rebels in a daring counterattack, buying us precious time to regroup and reassess. We fall back exhausted, wounded, and battered. But we've bought ourselves a fleeting window of opportunity. As we tend to our wounded and regroup, Lyra takes my hand, her eyes searching mine. "Alex, I know what's happening to you. I can see it. You need to let go of the celestial key's power. You're losing yourself." I nod, tears stinging my eyes. I know she's right. But can I truly let go? Has it come too late? The fate of Aethereia hangs in the balance, and I'm torn between saving it and saving myself. Previously, Alex discovered General Kale's betrayal, obtained the celestial key, and harnessed its power to launch a suicidal assault on Archon's stronghold. putting his own identity at risk. The weight of the world is crushing me, I confess to Lyra, my voice barely audible as we huddle in the dimly lit rebel base. I can feel the celestial key's grip on my soul, Lyra. Scared I'll lose myself completely. Lyra's grip on my hand tightens, her eyes burning with determination. We'll face this together, Alex. We always do. You're not alone. Suddenly, the base's alarm system blares to life. Ava bursts in, her face grim. We have an incoming transmission from the Aethereian resistance. It's a message from their leader, Archon. She claims to have discovered a hidden Archon facility, one that holds the key to reversing the ecological damage to Aethereia. The room falls silent, the gravity of this revelation sinking in. If true, this could be the turning point we desperately need. Lyra's eyes lock onto mine, a spark of hope igniting within them. This could be our chance to restore Aethereia, Alex. We have to take it. I nod, a sense of purpose crystallizing within me. We'll send a team to investigate. Ava, assemble a squad of our best operatives. Lyra, can you interface with Archon's team to gather more intel? As the team springs into action, I realize that our window of opportunity is narrowing. We must act swiftly to prevent ecological catastrophe and dismantle Archon's stranglehold on Aethereia. The fate of this planet and my own hangs precariously in the balance. With Lyra by my side, I steel myself for the challenges ahead. I will not let the celestial key consume me. I will not let Thrakos win. I will rise above the chaos, unite my team, and forge a path toward redemption. The transmission from Archon crackles to life, her voice a beacon of hope in the darkness. Alex, Lyra, this is Archon. I've located the hidden facility. It's heavily guarded, but I have reason to believe it holds the secrets to reviving Aethereia's ecosystem. Meet me at the old windmill on the outskirts of New Elysium. We'll proceed from there. With the clock ticking, I nod to Lyra, and we set out on the perilous path to reclaim Aethereia. The windmill awaits, shrouded in mystery, holding the promise of salvation or damnation previously. As Alex and his team on Elysium begin to process the aftermath of their recent ordeal, a mysterious message from Aethereia's resistance sets them on a perilous path, compelling Alex to act swiftly to prevent ecological catastrophe and dismantle Archon's stranglehold on Aethereia. With Lyra by his side, Alex set out to meet Archon at the old windmill on the outskirts of New Elysium, determined to uncover the secrets to reviving Aethereia's ecosystem and break free from the celestial key's grip on his soul. The windmill stood as a haunting silhouette against the crimson sky, its crumbling walls a testament to Aethereia's decay. Lyra and I approached cautiously, our senses on high alert for any signs of ambush. Archon emerged from the shadows, her eyes gleaming with a mix of determination and trepidation. The facility is hidden deep within the ether clefts, she explained, producing a holographic map that illuminated the labyrinthine tunnels. We'll need to navigate the treacherous terrain and avoid Archon's patrols to reach it. I nodded, my grip on the celestial key tightening. We're in this together. Archon, let's get moving. Our team, augmented by Archon's rebels, advanced into the ether clefts, braving toxic gas pockets, treacherous terrain, and roving Thrakos patrols. Lyra and Ava worked in tandem, hacking into ancient systems and decoding cryptic messages, while Kale's betrayal still lingered in my mind like an open wound. As we delved deeper, the air grew thick with the acrid scent of corruption, and the earth trembled beneath our feet. We encountered pockets of resistance, some of whom had suffered under Archon's brutal regime, and I realized that redemption wasn't just about saving Aethereia, but also about redeeming the sacrifices of those who had fought against the oppressors. At last, we reached the hidden facility, a sprawling complex shielded by layers of energy fields and deadly traps. Lyra's biotechnology and Ava's hacking skills combined to disable the defenses, allowing us to breach the main console. The data we uncovered was staggering: ancient artifacts, forgotten technologies, and cryptic blueprints that hinted at Aethereia's original creators. I felt the celestial key's power surging within me, illuminating the threads of destiny that bound me to this planet. Thrakos's forces, however, were closing in, and Archon's retaliatory strike on Lyra's stronghold had left us with limited time to act. I knew I had to harness the power of the celestial key, master the ancient technologies, and confront the moral depths of wielding a planet-scale device. In the depths of the facility, I discovered an ancient Aethereian artifact, a relic that resonated with the planet's essence. As I grasped it, the celestial key's grip on my soul began to falter, replaced by an unshakable resolve. I knew what I had to do. With Lyra by my side, I rallied our forces, and we launched a planet-wide assault on Archon's stronghold. The battle raged across Aethereia, our combined forces clashing with Thrakos's army in a maelstrom of steel, magic, and desperation. As the dust settled, I stood before Archon's throne, the artifact glowing with an otherworldly energy. The celestial key's power coursed through me, tempered by my newfound understanding of Aethereia's ancient magic. "It ends here," I declared, the words echoing across the ravaged landscape. "Aethereia will be reborn and you will be cast into the darkness." With a cry of defiance, I unleashed the celestial key's power, channeling it into the artifact. A blinding radiance erupted, shattering Archon's grip on Aethereia and unlocking the secrets of the planet's ecosystem. As the light faded, I beheld a transformed Aethereia, its skies restored to a vibrant blue, its landscapes revitalized and its people reborn. Lyra's hand found mine, her eyes shining with tears of joy. The windmill, once a symbol of decay, now stood as a beacon of hope, its ancient stones bearing witness to our triumph. I knew that my journey was far from over, that the burdens of leadership would weigh heavily on my shoulders. Yet I was prepared. I was Alex, the visionary leader who had forged a path toward redemption, balancing hope, duty, and the resolute courage that had driven me to reclaim Aethereia. Epilogue. As the sun dipped below Aethereia's horizon, Lyra and I stood together, gazing out upon the reborn landscape, our hands still clasped, a promise of unity and hope. In the distance, the Aetherclefts whispered secrets to the wind, their ancient magic awaiting discovery. The stars twinkled, a celestial map guiding us toward the unknown horizons that lay beyond Aethereia's borders. I smiled, knowing that our journey was just beginning. The fate of the galaxy awaited, and I was ready to face it, armed with the wisdom of Aethereia and the courage that had redeemed its soul.